What's up, Aries? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a full moon general tarot reading for the full moon coming up on March 25th. This will be a full moon at 5 degrees Libra. It will be at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be in the 15th mansion of the moon. The 15th mansion of the moon is all about gaining wealth, but it's auspicious for love, right? And the astrology right now has a lunar eclipse because the moon will be opposite the sun. It's on the Aries Libra axis. So this is going to be all about understanding and balancing the aspect of a relationship or companionship, specifically your one-on-one companionship, and your role as an assertive single individual in life, which would be Aries, Sun in Aries. So, and for Aries ascendant, this eclipse is going to take place in your 6th or 7th house. So sixth house is the house of your physical health, your pets, sacrifices you might have to make in the world. And your 7th house would be the house of your personal relationships, which is ruled by Libra. So this could be a thing to do right now with your thoughts on whether you need a personal a personal relationship or not. Or you may be reevaluating your role in life. Do I need a relationship, or do I need to just live life and be more assertive and make my own decisions? The moon is also opposite Neptune, so there could be a lot of confusion around that right now because Neptune and the moon together is, while very psychic, in an opposition, if you balance it out, and you really focus, you can actually get the answers. But with that being said, just left alone, out of balance, it's going to be very confusing energy. So it's going to be hard to really pin down how you want to proceed in your life as it pertains to your one-on-one relationships and or your role in them, or deciding that you don't need them at all. Also, you have Jupiter touching Uranus, so there could be thoughts or ideas, new ideas suddenly coming, new philosophies coming, specifically around the material aspects of your life. This card flipped straight up, so it's going to be right in the middle. This is some kind of idea coming in, some kind of clarity. So that's what I'm saying with that conjunction. And for Aries ascendant, it's going to be around your 1st or 2nd house. So this could be new ideas, sudden philosophies around either making money or your just material wealth in general. And this mansion of the moon is very good for buckling down and making money. Not so much for the love life, though. And I'll have the picture up soon. By now it would have already been up, and you can read about it. Auspicious for love, but good for money, planning money. This is on the bottom. This is going to be moving forward in some way. And the moon card was communication is key. Can you see that? New moon in Gemini. This is a full moon, not a new moon, but... So yeah, your clarity or this new idea, or you wanting to move forward in a new way, you're not seeing the answers, or you're confused about it, or you haven't truly made a decision, or you're in the process of making a decision. There's still some kind of doubt here about this new idea or about this clarity. There's still confusion. There's still something kind of covering the clarity. But it's saying communication is how you do it. So you need to communicate. It's either the individual that you are communicating with isn't seeing what you're saying. This is you trying to explain. This is them not receiving or not understanding. And that could be causing an issue. So communication is key. So that's a good thing. It's crowned by seeds that you have planted. So this could be financial seeds. It could be just relationships. And they're blooming. So because you planted these seeds, consciously you're going to have an influence around you that's probably going to be helpful or fruitful in some way. Beneficial, not necessarily materially, but it can be materially. And it's going to help you move forward. The unconscious influence isn't so good. This is feeling a chain to something. Generally, I associate this with your shadow, or being chained to a relationship or to bad habits. So the unconscious influence is your shadow. So there are probably some shadow aspects that haven't been brought to light, that haven't been communicated. Okay? So you really need to kind of, it's probably whoever you're trying to communicate with that's not really getting it through. You need to bring it to light, not just for them, but also for yourself. Because when you communicate, it's not just the other individual learn. Generally, well, when you communicate, it's really only you that's learning. Now, whether they get the message or not, it's a different thing. But through this communication, you can bring the shadow forward and you can integrate it and therefore outgrow it and stop its influence from happening in your life. Because as Jung said, if you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Shadow aspects of ourselves, traumas, emotions that are repressed or ignored, will always manifest forth in our material life around us because they're going to try to get us to feel them. And that's what this devil card is all about. And that being in the unconscious influence would suggest that this communication that needs to be taking place will help you. You'd be surprised through your own communication what you can learn about yourself. Even if you're talking to someone else about them, it's really just them in relation to you. So it's going to be bouncing off what you're saying, and it's going to help you learn for yourself if you're conscious of it and you're aware of it. You can learn a lot about yourself in those types of situations because you can't really help anyone else. They can only help themselves. You can try to be a good mirror for them so that they can bounce off what they need to off of you, and then hopefully, if they're receptive and open, they can learn as well. Behind you, you made a decision. This is a final judgment. You're like, this is it. This is the decision that I've made, and this is what it's going to be. And this is probably a divinely guided decision. It was a decision that needed to be made. That's Gabriel, right? Giving the message out to all of them. They're in coffins. They're being risen from the dead, like a resurrection. So think of it as like the decision that's going to lead you to your new beginning. In front of you, though, is still a mystery, but that's what life is, right? You got the two pillars there, B and J, Boaz and Joachim. It's the pillars of Freemasonry. All Freemason temples have these two pillars, all of them. It's mercy and severity in the Kabbalah. It is the balance, and we want to be in the middle of it. But this card can also represent secrets. But if you notice, there's a bunch of pomegranates. Pomegranates are very good symbols. Symbols of abundance. They're right there behind her through the pillars. But that moon, this moon card, there's always a bit of confusion or a bit of secrets there. But with that also being said, this can also be wisdom. So though you might not know what the future holds, and none of us do, I don't care what anyone says, this is more about the possibilities of what can happen. You still have a choice within these possibilities. This is a narrative, but the nuance of it is on you. That's the aspect of free will. Yes, there is a direction that we're headed, and astrology can show us the directions that we can head, right? But it's a map that's meant to be discovered, and the tarot is the same way. It can show you a narrative, but it's you that has to individually make the decisions along the way, the nuance, the specifics, and it's going to be different for every single person, especially in general readings. But there could be some wisdom that comes forth from this, and hopefully that is the case, because whatever is being communicated, whatever you can learn, if you can integrate and bring that shadow forward, you can get wisdom. And wisdom that comes from the shadow isn't always obvious at first, but make no mistake, it is great wisdom, because it isn't just light and conscious, it's also dark and unconscious. Everything is dual in our reality. You right now, you're working your butt off. Whatever your situation you're in right now, you are having to work to get things done, or at least this is how you feel right now, overburdened. But if the communication you feel like is failing, that can make you feel overburdened. Or if whatever this decision that you made, if it's a major life-changing decision, then yes, you're going to feel like this in the moment. And you're also, in your environment, you're holding on to your money, or you're trying to save your money. Because whatever this decision is probably going to require some amount of money. Because pretty much all things that we do to some extent or the other are going to require money, at least in the adult world. That's just kind of how it works, unfortunately. So save your money. This is what you're doing. You're saving your money. You're saving your resources because you're trying to move forward. That's good. I don't see how that can be a bad thing. Looks like it's about to be a time of celebration. The advice is saying don't take things too seriously, right? Don't take things too seriously. Have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Communicate. Communicate in the most loving way that you can. Learn as much as you can. Use the mirrors that you have around you, whatever that may be, however you look at them, positive or negative. No matter what, it's up to you to transmute whatever energy comes your way into a positive, into a benefit. Regardless of how it presents itself, you can always learn. And in learning, there is a benefit. But this is saying do something for yourself. Have a good time. Go socialize. That's the advice. Don't get too caught up in the situation could be serious, right? Or whoever you're communicating with, it may not be super healthy or it doesn't feel like it is, but you don't have to get drugged out into it. Looks like the advice is to celebrate, right? Or to cut loose a little bit. Don't take things too seriously. But the outcome is good. This is moving forward. This is an opportunity. This is an emotional opportunity, an opportunity maybe even in love to move forward. And if it's something to do with move away from a toxic relationship, right? This is an opportunity to move forward with love. Even if it's just your own self-love, it's an opportunity to move forward. And you need to get your shadow integrated, right? From whatever this is, or whatever this unconscious influence is, this bad relationship or these shadow aspects of yourself. Once you get them integrated and you start moving forward and you get yourself in a healthy, loving relationship with yourself, you can then offer a more whole and pure version of yourself forward. And that's always going to be beneficial when either starting a new relationship or just living your life, because you want to be whole. It isn't about being perfect. It's about being whole, knowing what you're capable of and being complete in that and being very brutally honest. And that's where this shadow integration comes in, or where leaving a toxic relationship comes in, because you need to find your self-love, right? Okay, that being said, communication is key. Try to do it in a loving, compassionate way if you can. It's going to be some work, but it looks like you're going to be moving forward, so that's very good. Okay, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want more videos from me, the best thing to do is like, subscribe, and comment. It's going to motivate me. It's going to help the algorithm. It's going to get me the watch hours I need. I'm almost up to the subs I need, but the watch hours are horribly lacking. I can't force anybody to watch the videos, but the more people that do watch them, even if it's just a few minutes, the algorithm is going to promote them with more likes, subscribes, and comments. Either way, you don't have to if you don't want to. And I'm just grateful that you're here, Aries, and I hope to see you here again. Happy full moon.